I'm Banks.
I'm Josh.
Odd places going viral. Take it away, Josh.
Banks, do you work out?
Yep. And in.
Wow, most people don't. I'm impressed already.
Okay. Define workout. Maybe I don't work out.
Exercise. Do you exercise?
Do you consider walking exercise?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. I walk and I kayak. Walk, kayak 6 days a week. And
Hey, you do this to stay in shape? You do this to stay and stay healthy?
Yeah. And I do I'm up to like 14 minutes, 14-minute yoga, which is my own little creation of yoga and stuff.
So you're in the top 50%. You're in the top 50%, I'm going to say, probably, of people that actually do exercise on a regular basis. It might even be less than that. I haven't looked it up.
So you do it. Go ahead.
Of course. Oh, yeah. I exercise. But here's the real question. Do you mentally exercise?
Nice. Mentally exercise, you're talking about meditation, correct? Or are you talking about...
Well, look, there's physical exercise. You can walk, you can lift weights, you can run marathons, you can swim. There's all kinds of ways to physically exercise. I'm just asking in general, do you mentally exercise?
Okay. All right. When you say mentally exercise, I take that as meditation. I take that as rest. I take that as, oh gosh, what is that? Working out your brain. Working out your brain and knowing the difference. This is a big one. Knowing the difference between what is real and what is not real. And most of what's in your brain is not real.
Yes.
And
so
go ahead.
I was like, your mind is a tool. And how do do you proactively and intentionally exercise your mind to keep it sharp, to keep that tool sharp?
Yes. I call it monitoring yourself, inward monitoring. When something happens to me, whatever, if I'm thinking or whatever, and I feel bad, I have to turn in and realize, why do I feel bad? What's going on? This is an article on the radio and I don't agree with it. And it's not about the person on the radio. It's about me, not agreeing with it. Oh, I want everybody to agree with what I think. Yeah. Inward monitoring or monitoring self. I ask people if they're monitoring themselves.
Yeah. Well, I just started thinking about this, not just been thinking about it for a while, but we have this thing in our country called mental apathy. There's physical apathy where people just don't get off their ass ever. They're sedentary, but there's also mental sedentary. There's mental apathy. And I think it's becoming a big problem.
Okay. So explain, I get what physical apathy is. What is mental apathy? They just don't care, or they go to the lowest common denominator with it, which is
let's liken it to physical apathy. Let's liken it to physical apathy. Physical apathy means there's things I have to accomplish, but I'm not going to put the effort. I'm going to have someone chew my food. I'm going to have a car take me somewhere instead of walking, even if it's close. I'm going to use technology. I'm going to use everyone else to accomplish my stuff so I can do as little physically as possible. Now, same thing for mental. Where can I get information where I don't have to think about it? Just tell me what to think. Tell me what to believe. Tell me what, and we basically stop using our brain. We stop exercising our critical thinking, our thought processes, our reasonability, our logic ability, and we just take the shit that's fed to us. That's what I'm talking about when I say mental apathy.
I know. We stop thinking. We stop thinking.
Yeah.
We become the sheep, the cows, the cattle, and we just follow. Why do we follow? Why do we do that? Why do we turn our brain off? Why do we become mentally?
Why are we physically sedentary? Why are we physically not moving? It's just easier.
Okay, so it's easier. So water goes to the lowest common place because it goes down. So I mean, of course we're going to do that. Why? I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Why should I run 3 miles every day when I got a car. I can just drive there.
Because because of another A word that rhymes called atrophy. The use it or lose it principle. If you stop walking, you're soon going to lose function of your legs. You'll never be able to walk again. That's why. Same thing with your brain. Same thing with your mind.
Okay, so it's easier though. I mean, you know that
Yes.
people do that because it's easier. My gosh, I got a bad back. And I'm not a medical doctor or a nurse.
I'll pretend I am. It's okay.
You have a bad back because you stopped walking, or you stopped being active, or you stopped this, or you got an injury and then that pulled you away from it. I get it. So then why do we do that? Why do we have mental apathy and atrophy?
Well, I think
I know the atrophy.
Yeah, it starts with how we're raised, like anything else. It's how we're educated. It's how we're brought up in the home. I mean, parents, we do that all the time, right? We carry our kids for 18 years and then expect them to go run when they hit 18, and it doesn't work out too well sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Okay, so why then you are mental? Okay, so how do you do your mental calisthenics? What do you do for mental calisthenics?
One of the things, one of the things I do is I am active on social media, and I challenge myself to respond to what people post. Just to I look at what they post, I think about it, I try and reason. I'm like, well, how can they? I even try and get into like how they think about it, just for fun. Again, it's just an exercise, just to get me challenge myself.
I see.
To that, and then art, right? Art is a challenge.
Creating, I see it. Yeah. Okay. What about like inward calisthenics? What about when things rile you up? I know. Yeah, right. You're right. You're like the Zen
not for
master.
long, anyways. I stop that.
I mean, that's the biggest challenge that I have, is that I'll hear or see something and I'll like have a knee-jerk reaction. My mom was like that way, and I got it from my mom. Thank you, Mom. I think that I got it from my mom, and the knee-jerk reaction usually gets me in trouble, and with myself. And what I mean by that is that I get mad and upset, and that stress causes indigestion or whatever, and then I finally have to calm down and look inside, monitor myself, and realize, wait a minute, this is all about me. It's my ego. So speaking of ego, what is good about an ego?
What is good about an ego?
Yeah.
I guess having a little bit of an ego gives you some confidence. It's good to have an identity, an ego. It's okay. It's just when it gets ridiculously too big and it overtakes everything you do, it becomes more important than others.
Yeah.
Kind of like nationalism. When you think your country is better than every other human life on the planet just because you were born here and they weren't. I have problems with that.
Isn't that though just competition? I went to Auburn, Alabama to college. Alabama was our rival. We just had that rivalry. I mean, it was just like, we're number one. No, we're number one.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, are you going to shoot them and kill them because they go to a different school?
No, it has been done.
Okay. It's just a game.
Yeah,
right? It's just a fun thing.
We're just playing.
Yeah, but guess what? We didn't choose to be born here, right? I mean, so you chose to go to Auburn, and we didn't choose to be born here, and we didn't. So again, the stakes are higher when it gets to nationalism and things like that. School rivalry, competition's cool.
Okay, so calisthenics, mental. How about emotional? Emotional calisthenics. Do you have any of those? Do you cry once a week just to make sure you can cry?
I don't intentionally cry. No, I don't do that. But I guess going back to what we were just saying, when things do start to rile me up, I'm well practiced. I can get back to the even keel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it doesn't go too far. You know what I think we need? I think we need mental gyms. That's what I was thinking. We should
Ooh,
open up a bunch of mental gyms instead of physical.
Josh.
Come in and they just start. We put a hat on them like a little tin cap, and they just start thinking.
Hang
We give
on.
them mental exercises.
Maybe like mental gyms, we could have just listeners. You know, you come in and people just listen to you. You walk around a room, whatever, or it could be an art gallery. You walk around Warshaw. I think it's Warshak. Warshak.
Rorschach, inkblot.
Rorschach, yeah. So you walk around and have people just talk and talk and talk, and all they do is listen. And at the end, I don't know.
Well, they can't just listen. They have to question you constantly, challenge you mentally. That's the whole point. You're trying to get a workout.
Right. I see. And then only question them when they slow down talking, because I think that deep down inside, people just want to be. They want to be listened to. In life, they're not listened to. Their bosses don't listen to them. In general, I'm not saying we are stop listening to each other, which means we need people to listen to you for your own, here you go, emotional or mental health.
Yeah, and people just want to hear their own opinion coming out of your mouth. I think that's all we want. I'm Josh.
Odd Places, going dirty hands viral.
I'll go wash. Don't worry.
Yeah.